I still remember the exact moment everything in my life broke. It wasn't a scream. It wasn't blood. It was silence. That kind of silence where a whole family agrees to pretend nothing happened. My mother looked me dead in the eyes and said, "If you open your mouth, you will destroy this family." But what she didn't understand was the family was already destroyed. They just didn't want the world to know it. Because inside our house, we were protecting a monster. And I used to call him my brother. My name is Emily Carter, and until I was 17, I believed my family was normal. We lived in a quiet suburb in Ohio. White fences, church every Sunday, smiling neighbors who never asked too many questions. And inside that perfect picture was my older brother, Jason Carter. Everyone loved him. Teachers praised him. Friends admired him. My parents worshipped him like he was some kind of success story. Straight A student, star athlete, perfect son. But perfection is often just a mask. And behind Jason's mask was something else. Something my family refused to see or refused to stop. It started with small things. Girls avoiding our house. Whispers at school when his name came up. Friends of mine suddenly cutting contact after meeting him. But whenever I tried to speak up, my mother would smile and say, "Emily, don't create problems where there are none." My father would say, "Jason is a good boy. Stop being dramatic." So I stayed quiet. Not because I believed them, but because I was scared of what they were protecting. It was a Friday night. My cousin Hannah Williams came over for dinner. She was 18, sweet, quiet, the kind of girl who apologized even when she did nothing wrong. Halfway through dinner, she said she was tired and went upstairs to rest. 10 minutes passed, then 20. Then I noticed something strange. Jason wasn't at the table anymore. My stomach dropped. I went upstairs, and I heard it. A door creaking, a whisper, and Hannah crying. Not loudly, just broken. I pushed the door open and froze. Hannah was sitting on the floor, shaking. Jason stood near the window, calm, too calm. And when he saw me, he didn't panic. He smiled, like he knew nothing would happen, like he had done this before. I screamed for my parents. They came running upstairs. My aunt followed. For a moment, I thought they would finally stop him, but instead, my mother shut the door. My father told everyone to calm down, and then my mother whispered to me, "Emily, we are handling this internally." Internally, like it was a business problem, not a human being crying on the floor. Hannah couldn't even speak. She just kept shaking. And Jason? He walked past everyone and went downstairs to continue eating dessert, like nothing happened. That was the moment I realized this wasn't new to them. That night, I couldn't sleep. I went downstairs at 2 a.m., and I heard voices from my father's office. I pressed my ear to the door. My mother was saying, "This is the third time this year. Third time." My hands went cold. My father replied, "We handled the others. We'll handle this too." Handle this too. Like they were cleaning up messes, not crimes, not victims, messes. The next morning, I waited until they left the house. Then I went into my father's office. There was a locked drawer. I broke it open. Inside, I found folders, dozens of them. Each one had a girl's name. Some had photos, some had letters, some had police reports that were never filed properly. And one folder made me feel sick. It had my cousin Hannah's name on it, with a note attached. "Settle quickly, avoid attention." My family wasn't confused. They weren't unaware. They were experienced. I sat on the floor for almost an hour. My hands were shaking because I finally understood something terrifying. Jason wasn't acting alone. He never was. He was protected by the people who were supposed to protect us. And if they could silence others, they could silence me too. That's when something inside me changed. Fear didn't disappear, but it turned into clarity. I copied everything, every file, every name, every report. Then I uploaded it to encrypted cloud drives and set it to release automatically if anything happened to me. For the first time, I wasn't just Emily Carter. I was evidence. 2 weeks later, my father hosted a charity gala. Important guests, local politicians, business leaders, church officials, and Jason stood at the center like a hero, smiling, shaking hands, pretending. I watched him from across the room, and I didn't feel anger anymore. I felt certainty. Because tonight, his mask was coming off. My father stepped on stage to give his speech. The lights dimmed, the room went silent. Then the screen behind him turned on. Folder after folder appeared. Names, reports, evidence. Whispers turned into confusion. Confusion turned into panic. My mother froze. My father shouted for someone to stop it, but it was too late, because then audio recordings played, victims speaking, truth spilling out, and the entire room realized this wasn't a rumor, it was a pattern. Then something unexpected happened. Hannah stood up, then another girl, then another. One by one, they started speaking, not crying this time, not silent, but loud, clear, unstoppable. Jason tried to leave, but the doors were already blocked, and for the first time in his life, he had nowhere to hide. Police arrived within minutes. Jason was arrested. My father lost everything. My mother stopped leaving the house, and our perfect family became a warning story in our town. People ask me if I regret exposing them. No, because monsters don't survive in darkness. They survive in families that protect them, and mine protected one for far too long. If you watched until the end, comment this, "Silence protects monsters," and subscribe for more dark family revenge stories with shocking twists you won't see coming.